The blinds tremble, not from wind but something nearer inside. My hand hesitates as I reach, too late. The flickering lamplight pulses, shadows on the wall skewed unnaturally. Everything dissolves into static, the chair, the desk, the potted fern nudging memories best kept hidden. Silence envelops me, even my breath sounds foreign in the thick air. It's happening again, or perhaps it never ceased. I'm no longer the busy stereo engineer I pretended to be. My reality is far more elusive. Instead, I am tech support, an insomniac keeping afloat as a freelancer in a city that hums outside, yet denies me rest. Loneliness is my companion. After Hannah, I cultivated solitude. I tricked myself into believing my all-night work is for bills and deadlines, though Hannah called it obsession when warmth spilled beneath my door, and the city seemed smaller. Now the nights stretch endlessly, as if the apartment is expanding, consuming all but me. I avoid mirrors after midnight. The reflection unsettles me. Shadows accumulate under my eyes, dark and thick, suggesting something is leaking through. Tonight is different. My therapist insists bad nights follow what happened with Hannah. The lorazepam remains unopened in my kitchen drawer, but her reassurances don't clarify the swirling dust by my windowsill that I erase each morning only to find it intricately restored each night. Nor does it explain the streetlight outside, dimming into violet as the air thickens, pulsating like a feeble heartbeat. I take a hesitant step, then another. The impact of my heel fades into the void. Usually, I dive into work to suppress gnawing anxiety, but tonight, I can't face the screen. Its bluish glow revealed my name misspelled in an absent email, the sender's address spilling out like a mouth gaping wider than possible. Everything feels slippery at the edges. Years of structured routines should soothe me, washing dishes, folding clothes, feeding the fern. Yet, the fern's leaves curl backward, the cold kitchen tiles feel sharper underfoot, and the refrigerator hums, shifting unpredictably into a pulse that crawls up my spine, lodging behind my eyes. My phone vibrates with a looping error code, no new messages to speak of. I question, have I already slept, or been awake for days? The noise begins just after 1:12 a.m. It isn't a voice or the heater's mechanical hum. It's a shredding sound, ragged and almost liquid. I halt, toes digging into the tiles. A damp chill rises, creeping beneath my skin. Each breath slows, my chest tightens as it did after Hannah's accident. This time, grief carries a strange metallic taste, as if something has hijacked my senses. The apartment feels deliberately wrong. Walls close in or expand. Bookshelves dissolve into black voids. The lamp casts a distorted reflection, bending unnaturally around an amorphous shape. I pull back, trailing my fingers over something cold and sticky, honey-like, before jerking my hand away. Light itself feels unstable. My laptop falters. The speaker flashes codes with every blink. Silence sharpens. Something vast stirs behind it, like air poised to unfurl into rain. Then, an acrid taste sweeps my tongue, a mix of rot and ammonia. I catch a flicker behind the lamp. Pushing my palm against the scarred oak table, I seek the solid grain, something enduring. But the wood gives way, a chill seeping into my arm. I gasp and withdraw, heart racing. The lamp fractures, lines crawling across my vision. Shadows congeal, geometric and threatening mathematics with teeth. The room resists comprehension. Walls stretch, then close in. Dust motes swirl into eye-like patterns, settling where I can't help but see them. The air is thick. Each breath brings salt stinging my throat, a weight pressing my ribs. I grab my phone, desperate for voices, music, anything to drown the silence. It won't power on. My reflection warps in the glass, mouth agape, teeth askew. The escalating dread feels nourishing, revealing a world at once unfinished, as though I've fractured the surface and something beneath is clawing its way up. Now I hear it, above me, a smooth, deliberate rasp, moving methodically from room to room, sinking with the thud in my ears. The light shifts to a sickly hue, illuminating seams in the ceiling that now branch off at impossible angles, architecture rewriting itself. And then I see it, or impossibly see through it. The air near the window churns inside out. A shape, tall and shapeless, frosted in sheen, presses close against the glass. Skin shimmering with fractures, a gauzy lattice of veins throbbing beneath the surface like city lights through fog. Its face is an unsettling geometry. Angles within angles, never settling, expression flickering between suggestion and absence. Limbs, wrong, oddly elongated, cast shadows across the wall, bending at strange angles, joints inverting. Every movement resonates, a static alive, embedding itself in my ears and forcing my jaw clenched as if I can taste blood. It doesn't blink when I do. Time falters. My breath again tastes of ammonia, colder and sharper. The outline shifts, strobing between confirmation and formlessness, vibrating with a stuttering, organic glow. It leans closer, my knees waving. I back away, slow and deliberate, attempting to avoid provocation even as my body quakes. Its arms split and rejoin too quickly. Shadows writhe across the windowsill in brittle spirals. 1,000 sensations erupt across my skin, pins and needles, freezing and scorching, as if the air whispers desperate warnings my nervous system cannot translate. The walls breathe, pulsating in counter-rhythm to my racing chest. The entity hesitates at the glass, its head transforming into two elongated shadows, searching for some way inside not suited to human form. Its fingers, if they can be called that, tap 3 times on a pane, a noise high but distinct. I realize I cannot move. My limbs feel hollow, my body's frozen in the act of retreat, palms slick, knees quaking against the chilled tile, jaw locked tight with an iron taste. The noise amplifies. Every surface vibrates. The entity's translucent form blurs and restructures, parts extending through the glass, points igniting a sickly blue. It has no eyes, but instinctively I know it sees me. My bones itch. The apartment lights flicker, rhythmically dying and igniting. My reflection in the window shows my face cracked by an unbroken line, my mouth widening into an impossible scream. My tongue curls, miming words I cannot comprehend. The tapping intensifies. 3 more knocks, insistent and rhythmic, slicing through the silence in sync with my heartbeat. My knees finally yield. I sink against the cupboard as the air thickens, convulsing. The thing outside convulses, its face transforming into a chaotic lattice of sharp planes and darkened veins, all frantically shifting. Its presence permeates the apartment, overshadowing everything. Then a jolt, a lurch within my skull as something colossal and wet folds between the walls, constricting the space around me. It feels like a plunge in temperature. Teeth chatter involuntarily, and my throat burns cold. Vision fractures, colors bleeding into one another. All familiarity is pressed thin, a membrane stretched across alien design. The tapping halts. It waits. Incredibly, the window fogs. A trace, almost letters, scrawls sideways, spelling something I grasp only as a chaotic instinct. Through the glass, I glimpse its face, pressed to mine, the lights extinguishing. For a harrowing instant, my upturned reflection reveals another version of my space emptier, unlit, with a twisted shape occupying my spot, lips parted mid-scream. Electricity surges back, flickering again. Thick, cold air presses against my ears. Between heartbeats, something wet and infinitely curious breathes near my cheek, just a pane of glass away. Now my hands ache from clutching the wood so tightly. A new pattern forms in the dust at my side, concentric spirals winding towards a vanishing point. The entity presses against the glass, flexing it inward. No sound, just the sensation of a new rhythm settling into my chest, expanding and contracting. My reflection's mouth moves again, not my voice. If shadows around you grow denser, let your gaze drift elsewhere.